Hi to everyone. We're going to continuation to read chapter 11 to 12. RCV 5, Gulliver's Travel. Okay, get your book, The Gulliver's Travel. Okay, then before just revise, it is wise to revise. Okay, about the Gulliver Travels. In Gulliver Travels, Gulliver's first travel to the island of tiny man called Lilliputian. He is accused of treason and sentenced to death after putting out a fire with his urine, but escaped after having to face his punishment. And then 2 months later, Gulliver embarked on a second voyage. This time he traveled to the land of gigantic Brobdingnagians, where he exhibited like a freak and made to fight animals. An eagle dropped him into the sea, where he picked up by the British ship and returned to England. Okay, on his third voyage, Gulliver visited a series of islands devoted to abstract things like mathematics, abstract ideas, and magic. And on his fourth voyage, he visited the land of the Houyhnhnms, who enslaved the repulsive human-like Yahoos. He is expelled after the Houyhnhnms deem they can have a party rational Yahoo like Gulliver. Okay, so that's a brief summary from the story of the Gulliver. Then, you know already the characters, you are familiar for the characters and also for the countries, the Lilliput, and the Brobdingnan, and also who's the Flimnap. Flimnap is a Gulliver's enemy of Lilliput. He accuses Gulliver of sleeping with his wife. And also the character Glumdunglitz. Her name means a little nurse in Brobdingnagians. This is what Gulliver calls the farmer's daughter who cares from him during his stay in Brobdingnan. And also, okay, again, the Brobdingnagians is the inhabitant of Brobdingnans. They are giant creature relative to Gulliver. And about the emperor, okay, the leader of the Lilliputian, he initially is a friendly toward Gulliver but changes his mind about him when Gulliver refuses to continue fighting Blepusco and put out on fire in the emperor's chamber by urinating on it. Okay, and the Houyhnhnms are special horses who are endowed with a great kindness of virtue. Gulliver lives among them for several years and afterward is extremely reluctant to return to England. And Gulliver and the King Brobdingnan spend a dozen of hours discussing politics, comparing their two cultures. And then Lilliputian, the inhabitants of Lilliput, they are about 5 to 6 inches tall. They are the sworn enemies of the Blepuscindians and neighboring islands. Okay, how about the Queen? The Queen of Brobdingnag is find the Gulliver very entertaining because of her huge size. Gulliver is disgusted when she eats. And Resal, a friend of Gulliver in Lilliput, he helped Gulliver settle into the strange new land and later helped to reduce Gulliver's possible punishment for treason from execution to having his eyes put out. And the Yahoos, the Houyhnhnms word for humans, Yahoos is in the country of the Houyhnhnms. Houyhnhnms are disgusting creature. Okay, I hope you understand about the Gulliver's Travel. Then another about the two countries. Okay, just listen carefully. I'll give you the just revise which you identify which events take place in Lilliput or Brobdingnan. Okay, so listen. Okay, just find Get a piece of paper and then you write your answer if your answer is correct. Identify which event takes place in Lilliput or Brobdingnan. Here's the two countries. The two countries, the countries where they happened. Which event takes place in Lilliput? Which event takes in Brobdingnan? Okay. Number 1. A large bird carries Gullivers away. A large bird carries Gulliver away. Okay, which country? There are two choices, two countries, Lilliput or Brobdingnan. Okay, again, a large bird carries Gulliver away. Okay, next. Guard put 91 chain on his left legs. Guard put 91 chains on his left legs. Okay, which country where they happened? Okay, next. Number 3, hundreds of tiny men take him to the capital city. Hundreds of tiny men take him to the capital city. Okay, it's a Brobdingnan or a Lilliput. Okay, number 4, he is exhibit all over the country. He is exhibit all over the country. Okay, number 5, a giant picked him up in a field. A giant picked him up in a field. Okay, next number. Number 6, he escaped to Blefusco and returned to England. He escaped to Blefusco and returned to England. Again, he escaped to Blefusco and returned to England. Okay, identify which event takes place in a Lilliput or Brobdingnan. Okay, next number, he wakes up on the beach to find his body fastened to the ground. He wakes up on the beach to find his body fastened to the ground. Again, he wakes up on the beach to find his body fastened to the ground. Okay, next. The king and queen by him. The king and queen by him. Okay, it's in the Lilliput or the Brobdingnan. Next, he is set free by the king in return for a certain promises. Again, he is set free by the king in return for a certain promises. He is set free by the king in return for a certain promises. If it's a Lilliput or Brobdingnan. Next, the queen's dwarf drops him into a bowl of milk. The queen's dwarf drops him into a bowl of milk. Okay, which event takes place in a Lilliput or Brobdingnan? Next number. The king decided to shoot arrows into his eyes. The king decided to shoot arrow into his eyes. Okay, it is in the events happen in Lilliput or Brobdingnan. Next, Glumdunglitz start to look after him. Glumdunglitz start to look after him. Okay, with country or the country where they happen, Glumdunglitz start to look after him. Next, he pulled 50 Blefuscan warship along with hook. He pulls 50 Blefuscan warship along with hook in Lilliput or Brobdingnan events takes place. Okay, he full 50 levels can worship along with who? And last event, the king takes notes about the political system in his country. The king takes notes about the political system in his country. Again, the king takes note about the political system in his country. Okay. Right to answer if it's Lilliput or Brotignan. Okay. So, then, all is 12. 14. Okay, let's check your answer. Okay, number 1, a large bird carries Gulliver away. It is Brobdingnan. Number 2, guard put 91 chain on his left legs. Lilyfoot. 100 of tiny men takes him to capital city. Lilyfoot. He is exhibit all over the country. Brobdingnan. A giant picks him up in a field. Brobdingnan. The answer. He escaped the Blefuscu and returned to England. Brobdingnan. And the next, he wake up on the beach to find his body fastened to the ground. Lilliput. Okay, again, in escape to Blefuscu, return to England is Lilliput. Okay, next, the king and queen by him is Brobdingnan. Okay, next, he is set free by the king in return for a certain promises, Lilliput. The queen's dwarf drop him into a bowl of milk, Brobdingnan. The kings decide to shoot arrow into his eyes, Lilliput. Glendonglitz start to look after him is Brobdingnan. He pulled 50 Blefuscan worship along with Hook, Lilliput. And the last, the king takes note about the political system in his country is Brobdingnan. Okay. Again, number 1 is Brobdingnan. Next is Lilliput. Then Lilliput again. Number 3. Number 4 is Brobdingnan. Next is Lilliput. Then Lilliput. Brobdingnan. Lilliput. Brobdingnan. Lilliput. Brobdingnan. Lilliput and Brobdingnan. Okay. So, all of you got the correct answer? Okay, next activity. Here is the choices. Okay, fill in the gaps. I read it again. Listen carefully. I read the paragraph, so just fill in the gaps or fill in the blank. Gulliver had many blank in the king of Brobdingnan. Gulliver had many blank with the king of Brobdingnan. Gulliver had many blank with the king of Brobdingnan. Then, who was a very blank person? Okay, here's the choices. Who was a very blank person? Next, Gulliver explained the blank system. Gulliver explained the blank system of the Britain. And then told him about the House of Lords and House of Commons. He explained that were blank to who decide punishment for criminal. He talked about the army and told the king about the blank of Britain. Over the last few hundreds years, the king made blank because he thought Gulliver might tell him something he could usefully copy in his own country. But when Gulliver had finished, the king was not pleased with what he heard. "Why are you so often at blank?" he asked. "Either you enjoy fighting or you have a very difficult blank. From what you have told me, I think the countrymen are the blank little nation of insects that ever blank upon the ground." Okay. Again, check your answer. Gulliver had many conversation with the king of Brobdingnan, who was a very intelligent person. Gulliver explained the political system of Britain and told him about the House of Lords and House of Commons. He explained that there were judges who decide punishment for a criminal. He talked about the army and told the king about the history of Britain over the last few hundred years. The king made notes because he thought Gulliver might tell him something he could usefully copy his own country. But when Gulliver had finished, the king was not pleased with what he had heard. "Why are you so often at war?" he asked. "Either enjoy fighting or you have a very difficult neighbors. From what you have told me, I think that your country are the worst, worst little nation of insect that ever crawled upon the ground." So that's all. Okay, got the correct answer. Okay, next is it's time to read the chapter 11 to 12. Continuation to read chapter 11 to 12. Okay, we read the story. Okay, after reading the story, just do the activity booklet. Booklet activities, page 33 to 34. Book activities, chapter 11 to 12, page 79. And book activities after reading, page 30. Okay. Then after that, check your answer for the book activities, page 79. And answer book activities, check your answer book activities, page 80. Okay. So for your assignment, revise the lesson. Do the booklet pages 31 to 32, book pages 81 to 83, complete your unfinished work, and advanced reading the third story, the title, The Travels of Ibn Battuta. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching and listening.